Welcome to Sally Melodies classroom where we learn basic music. This is intervals lesson 6. We are still progressing, and remember in the previous lesson we learned about the qualities of intervals. We had major intervals, minor intervals, perfect intervals, augmented intervals, diminished intervals, and we also had enharmonic intervals. Let's look at major intervals. So we are going to take it as number 1 in our list of qualities of intervals. So when you see major intervals, just know that major intervals comprises of the following: a second, a third, a sixth, and a seventh. Again, major intervals comprises of the following: a second, a third, a sixth, and a seventh. So, when you are describing them, you just say a major second, a major third, a major sixth, and a major seventh. Once again, when you are describing these 4 intervals, you just describe them as major. You say a major second, a major third, a major sixth, and a major seventh. The rest, the first, the fourth, the fifth, and the octave, they have their own quality, or they have their own category. But now we are dealing with major. That is a second, a third, a sixth, and a seventh. So you only talk of a major when you are mentioning a second, a third, a sixth, and a seventh. Here we have an example. I have taken the scale of C. This is what we have been using because it is the simplest. We use the C in all our examples, but it doesn't mean that the other scales can't apply. But we said that at this basic level, we shall be using C mostly in our examples. Now, remember when we were doing tones and semitones, we said when you look at the scale of C, from here to here, this is a C and this is a C. So this is an octave. So from C to D, it is a tone. From C to D, it is a tone. From D to E, it is another tone. From D to E. But when we come to E and F, E, F, we don't have any black key in between here. So that is half a tone, which we call a semitone. Remember the format: tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. That is the formula of the major scales. So, and then we proceed and see that again from B to C there is no any black key, so the distance is shorter, and that is the smallest distance, whereby we call it a semitone or half. In some books you will find them talking of half tone, whole tone, or tone and semitone. So do not get confused. It depends with the syllabus or the books that you are using. From our example here, we can see that from C to D is a tone. From C to E, 1, 2 tones. From C to E, there are 2 tones, 1, 2. From C to A, that is a sixth. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a half. That is 4.5 tones. And then from C to B, which is a seventh, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a half. That is what we are talking about. So all these are major intervals. They are major intervals: a second, a third, a sixth, and a seventh. How do you know that they are major? A second will give you 1 full tone. A third will give you 2 tones. A sixth will give you 4.5 tones. A seventh will give you 5.5 tones. If there is anything less than that, then it is not a major interval. It is another quality of an interval. Just note this. Just note this so that you can know that in order for an interval to qualify to be called a major interval, it must have these tones. So, this is a tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Or you can say 1, 1, half, 1, 1, 1, half. If you look at your interval, if it is a second, and then you realize that it is not a whole tone, it is maybe less, that is when you realize that it is not a major interval. So, those are the rules of knowing whether an interval is major or not. So, thank you very much for attending this lesson. See you in the next lesson.